Hey y'all, Cruncher, aka The Fits. Having me a little later night snack. I know it's a hamburger bun, but it's still peanut butter sandwich. My favorite. A little quick one about the book of life. That's the one you want to be in. No specifics on what it is. I know it's probably just what it sounds like. Being always acknowledged, filed away, not forgotten, kind of thing, by God. Always remembered, always acknowledged, or something like that, possibly. Not lost. Record in good standing. I just got to thinking. If you read about it, maybe you thought about it yourself. That is probably means something like that. You know how to get there. Life, study of life, biology. The Bible is the Bible. But and when you get into living like it, trying to live, biology, study of life, things that pertain to knowing about biology, human biology, stuff the body can do. Heading all the way down to further towards the end of that road, or what might be the seemingly end of that road / runway. Athletics. I got to thinking, as far as people that I've heard of or known about, read about, heard about, seen, learned about, outside of the Bible. There's a few different kinds of people that somehow, I wouldn't say if it's God have them chronicled or memorized, what's the word I'm looking for? Remembered, known. You got history that has a lot of historical figures from long time ago, some of them. Like I said, outside of the Bible, you got things that's people that's known to be like world leaders, some military folks. Nowadays, you hear a lot of things about like actors, starting to hear a lot more about athletes, professional athletes, amateur athletes, Guinness Book, world record people, general politicians. Some of them are remembered for a little bit. Some of them, you gotta, even if they're in office nowadays, you gotta go up and look to see the names of who some of these people are. Gotta notice it seems to depend on who's telling the story or who's recording the story. In red and purple news, you know what that is. The Babylon the Great, the Bible talks about the harlot, big manipulator, the one that I guess seems to have nowadays a lot of the people you see, especially the attractive, sometimes even unattractive. That's what I don't actually get, because she's supposed to be something that's like figured supposed to be really tempting to want to be with, but you got some unattractive folks being this purple and red and stuff too. Anyway, a lot of news people, a lot of actors, even some politicians and stuff like that, like they got on their uniform. Now I'm saying that's who they specifically are, some of them have probably just been put in them uniforms just for who knows, whatever reason, selfish reasons. Don't you go out there looking all open and available and stuff like that to any and everybody. Although you got on your ring, some people just need the fear of God in them, I guess, probably to keep them away from people things. I know. I guess it's something that serious for some people, but still, a lot of them in the news in them uniforms, and they talking about what, I don't know if it's what they want to talk about or who making them talk about it, but we got this thing called false narratives. Whether it's true or false or not, they still seem to be talking about what they're talking about and who they talking about and talking about them, how they talking about them. Does that mean these people are going to be long term remembered, all of them? No, but they're talking about a lot of bad people, crime wise. They're talking a lot about government official people who are around while a lot of these things, happening crime wise and stuff like that. Oh, the people want to know, why are you going to do to help this, that, and the next thing? A lot of that going on. But kind of noticing and feeling, maybe it's just me being a sport person my whole life. When I watch the news nowadays, like I said, I don't have a TV right now. When I watch the news, I used to watch the news before I started reading the Bible and started noticing a lot of things really, really in certain times, and people acting a certain way and getting really into it, and be like noticing the uniforms, seemingly how they seem to actually become. And it seems like even though they know and hear the message about that particular person, they want to stay in them uniforms. So in Harlot News and Chronicles, you know that if that's who they is or who they are, it ain't just one person. She's the mother of all harlots, like in charge of all the bad wildness, that do all the bad wildness. And by day, they do other things. I don't know, maybe by night too, I don't know. But if they the ones telling all the news, seemingly maybe thinking the chronicling that they doing, trying to convince people that it's good or right or something to do with the book of life. I kind of beg to differ. I'm thinking a lot more along the lines of nowadays people that's going to be remembered, known, heard of. Yeah, you probably have some good government people, a few. A lot of them join that lodge and thing, and they don't really sound like they all really too into doing the right thing. So, a lot of people, athletic figures, some Guinness World people figures, probably some few, some government people, maybe some medical type folks, people that actually really use what they do to try and make the place better or help or whatever like that, whilst doing what the book say, the Bible. Be careful. Everything out there glitter and ain't gold. These fancy suits and fancy dresses and stuff like that ain't necessarily it. Yeah, you should, try to be your best if that means to you dressing and looking your best. But so be it. I don't know if God would have a problem with it, but remember that vanity thing. Thinking you know it all sometimes can be like a vanity thing too. So you hear a lot of people like me sometimes use suggestive statements. Could it be? Is it? Not always saying we definitely know for sure everything. Although some things we might actually know. It's like a humble kind of thing. Because you don't want to be the one who knew so much of everything that God might have been jealous of you and decided to say, you know too much. You go be with them red and purple folks.